Hi, welcome to Diamond Custom Paint Shop. In this video, I'm going to show you how to mix and spray LiME's bronze flake. It's a bronze metal flake. It's a .004 size flake. And so we're going to also be using LiME's clear base coat and LiME's reducer. Now you can mix this with clear base coat or 2K clear. A lot of times I like to spray it in 2K clear, but this time I'm going to show you how to mix it with clear base coat. If you're going to mix it with your 2K clear, you just follow the directions on your Clearcoat, your mix ratios, and then you'll just add your flake. One thing that's going to be the same on this, I'll show you what it looks like when you have enough flake in there. So you'll be able to judge that if you're doing small amounts. I believe it says on this can here to mix this whole thing with 1 quart. But if you're going to mix smaller quantities like me, this is just a little under 3 ounces. Then I'll show you kind of what that's going to look like after you mix that. So let's go ahead. So I have my clear base coat in this container here, just so it's easy to dispense into my cup there. And I have my reducer in this. So as you can see on my cup here, I have 2 lines. The top line is my total volume, which, like I said, is just under 3 ounces. And that first line there is 50%. So what I like to do first is mix my mixture of clear base coat with reducer at a 50-50 ratio. And then we'll add our flake in after that. So let's get started here. We'll add our clear base coat in here. We'll just go up to the first line. If you want to get your hands on some of this bronze metal flake and then a lot of other different colors on there, I think he has like 14, I don't know, maybe 17 colors. I'm not sure. He has a lot of colors on there of the metal flake. Go ahead and go down to the link in my description and click on that. It'll take you to the website, and then you'll get 10% off anything on the website there. So go ahead and check that out. You can also get all the flakes in these rattle cans. This is a coarse silver base coat, but you can get all these metal flakes in this rattle can also. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. These are really awesome. I actually just sprayed this on the small area we're going to be spraying this silver base coat, the coarse silver. You want to spray your metal flake over either black or you can do it over silver. I've never done it over silver, so that's what we're going to do with today and see what that looks like. So yeah, so you can either do a black or silver, but you'll see what it looks like on silver today. So okay, we have our clear base coat in there. Now we're going to finish the rest of it all the way up to that top line, which is a 1-to-1 mix, remember, with our reducer. And then we're going to give that a stir. I forgot to grab a stir stick. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to give that a stir. So we got our mixture ready for our metal flake. We'll just make sure this is all mixed in good together. Now I have this little serving spoon here that comes with when you get LiME's pigment maker. You get one of these little serving spoons. So I'm going to use this. I've done this before, so I kind of know how much to add. So I'll kind of share it with you. So in my experience, 1 of these scoops to 1 ounce of your mixture comes out just about right. So we'll see, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the stir stick. I'll actually grab a bigger stir stick so you can see it on there. So anyways, we're going to start. We'll kind of add them one at a time and stir. So there's one. And I get that stirred down in. I like to add it a little bit at a time and stir it just so it doesn't get too clumped up. There's our second one. And we'll do one more. There we go. And we'll just get that a good stir. Make sure it's not clumped up in there. Get it all mixed around. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let me grab a bigger stir stick so I can show you in the camera what that's going to look like. So we got our mixture here. You see how that covers on the stick as it's flowing off? we got really good coverage. And so kind of how it looks on the stick is how it's going to spray. So that's kind of what you want to look for if you're doing smaller quantities. You want to pretty much kind of, you know, at first, before it starts running off, when you very first pull it out, cover the stick really good. Let me see. Let me try to get this as best I can for you guys. I know it's hard to see on the, sometimes on the camera. Okay, there you go. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our disposable cup system here. You can also get this on LimeLine. I already have some mixed in there, but have my liner in there. What I like to do is I like to kind of mix this as I pour, just so I don't get anything settled on the bottom. It gets all the flake in there in my cup. All right, there we go. Okay, and I just have a few more tips for you. Number one, when you're spraying, you want to kind of keep shaking this around with on your gun as you're spraying, just so you don't get any the flakes settling down in. The second tip I have is if you're using disposable cup systems, they'll come with this filter in the lid. Whenever I use flake, I always cut that out so you don't get your flake caught up in that filter. There you go. And if you do accidentally leave it in, you'll kind of know. It'll kind of feel like your gun's clogged. But the first thing to check is see if you took that filter out, because that's kind of what it'll act like. You'll get some spatters through of the flake, but not like a whole bunch. So we'll put that on there. We'll put the retaining ring on. And then my last tip is when you're spraying your metal flake, let's get this on here. When you're spraying your metal flake and in between coats during your flash time, store your gun just like this, upside down. Because if you store it upright like this, your flake's going to come down, you know, whether it's 10 minutes or whatever you're waiting, 5 minutes, depending on what you're using. We'll probably wait 5 minutes with clear base coat, but with 2K clear, you're going to be 10 minutes or so. That metal flake's going to settle down into your tip there, and then you're going to pull the trigger and it's going to clog it. So I always store my gun upside down like this. As you can see, all the flake will run out and go down into the cup. So that way it'll kind of prevent your clogs from happening. Okay, we'll be right back, and we're going to set up to spray on my little small area I have. I've already sprayed it with this coarse silver base coat, and we're going to see what this bronze looks like on the silver.